To battle a tangle of red tape and severe skills shortages, so are emerging entrepreneurs. To turn the tide, government and organs tasked with rejuvenating the economy should collaborate on eradicating any form of red tape that hampers economic growth. This is the view of Peggy Drodskie. She's the acting CEO of the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, SACCI. She was speaking to us ahead of President Jacob Zuma's State of the Nation address in just 2 weeks' time. We started by asking her what the central focus of this year's address should be.
The first thing relates to small businesses. They are really struggling under the burden of excessive legislation, and we are hoping that there's going to be some positive move towards cutting red tape to make it easier for those smaller and medium-sized enterprises to operate.
Do you think, as the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that it has taken rather too long to deal with the issue of red tape? Because that's the issue that has been raised from time to time. And what needs to be done really to expedite the process?
It has taken a long time, but one of the most positive movements has been the establishment of the Small Business Department, which we called for before the last elections. But being a new department, we have to recognize that it takes a long time to get the infrastructure up and running, to get a department running properly. We have had discussions with the minister, and the minister is aware that there is a lot that needs to be done. The whole issue of licensing is a very, very strong objection and complaint from our members. It takes too long to get a license. It takes too long to get registered as a business. The difficulty relating to the payment of VAT and the returns and the payback from SARS for VAT is also taking a long time for them. It impacts on their cash flow. The other area where there is grave concern is the business licensing bill, which has been put on the table, and there is very grave concern that that bill is going to make it even more burdensome on business.
2014, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry voiced their concern, saying government should do more to convince the investors from outside to come here. Do you think the government has made necessary strides in pursuing that?
Well, if we have a look at what the statement that was made by our state president at Davos this week, he certainly has said that South Africa is open for business. But the problem is that what the international investors require is certainty in the legislation. We've been told by many of them that although we have criticized what is on the legislation, and as far as the labour legislation is concerned, the uncertainties relating to licensing, which you've mentioned before, are serious concerns. As long as they have got certainty and they know that the legislation is not going to change over the next 2 years, 3 years, or even 10 years, that is the main thing that we need to put right, is to give them that certainty.
To catch a full interview with the acting CEO of the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Peggy Drodskie, do join me between 9 and 10 o'clock this evening on your